All right, welcome back everyone to our Wild Wednesday weekly wrap up, I guess. We'll try to keep it a little serious in the beginning. First, we'll try to cover our main topic and then we'll see where we go. But
Not a
uh
chance.
well, we can dig into that after. There's a lot of great comments
Give
out
the
there.
people what they want.
Well, Joe came prepared with a fresh haircut, so I think he's really down for
Ready
this
to go.
dating idea. But I did want to start off with a video that Frank, old guy REI, posted. It was kind of about how cash flow lied to him. So maybe we'll touch on that first. And it was kind of just about how it seems like simple math when you first jump into it. You know, you just your rental income minus the principal income, taxes, insurance, and then you kind of realize after a while that it's not that simple, right? Every month is a little bit different. So I know it's kind of last minute, but did any of you get a chance to kind of peek over that video that Frank came out with?
I didn't
No.
get a chance to look at it,
Okay.
but
uh,
but
But
that's
recap it for us.
yeah, like I said, it's very, like, he kind of just like he was saying, with new investors, they feel, people tell them, hey, yeah, it's just your rental income minus principal, insurance, taxes, and interest, right? And you're good, right? And that's your cash flow, right? And he kind of realized after a while that it's not that simple, right? Like the math. So did you guys have that experience also when you guys kind of started your journey, as far as the simple way to calculate cash flow is not really the cash flow you're probably getting every month? So Joel, you're nodding yes. So you want to dig into that a little bit?
yeah, because in 2017 I bought a couple of four families off market, and they weren't in the best shape, and we did a little bit of work to them, and they're just old buildings. They were built in the 1920s or 1930s, and they're brick buildings in St. Louis City, and they just the expenses just every month just it's always something. And even with low purchase prices, I was struggling to cash flow, and prices went up. I was able to sell them and this and that. So like I actually won the game, so to speak, because of appreciation, not so much cash flow. And I always think about that when I'm talking to clients. Okay, what kind of property do you want to get into? What kind of quality? What type of age? You know, what are I think that's the biggest thing is the expenses, the unknown, and every property is different. Every area is going to be different. But yeah, that's the part that I think is the hardest to quantify, because everybody's experience is going to be different. And the other thing too is that, like, I hear people talk about, hey, I'm gonna talk to these property managers, I'm gonna, get quotes, and then, you know, I'm gonna get data on what type of expenses to expect, and they're not gonna really tell you, and other people aren't always gonna tell you what to expect. So I think that's the hard part of the game. It's like a black hole of information, unfortunately.
Hmm. Yeah, I feel like when you're just starting out, you don't know what expenses are going to come up. So you just think like, oh, I'm buying a house. The inspector said it looks decent. When I was doing my Airbnbs, they were in great shape, but it had just been like an older woman that I had bought one of them from. And then I turned it into Airbnb, and all of a sudden I had like 7 people staying there at any given time. And it was just always booked. So I had so many plumbing issues. I think in the beginning I spent like $10,000 on plumbing right away.
Oh,
Yeah,
yeah.
I think
Yeah.
that's the thing Frank was really touching on in his video, where like a lot of people, yeah, they try to, like Kyder's saying, it is that simple, but it's not that easy, right? So it is a good way to calculate maybe what your cash flow should look like. But as we all kind of are touching on, it doesn't flow that way every month, right? There seems to always be some sort of expense. Or even for myself, I touched on it before. I've done the whole LLC entity thing. So it's like, every year, or, whenever the renewals come up, I'm like, oh shit, here's like another $1,000 I gotta pay for the renewals for whatever 10 entities, right? So it
Yeah.
just, every month there seems like there is something. And I think Frank's video really touched on that, especially for new investors. He doesn't want people to not get started, but he's just like, hey, it's not gonna be smooth sailing every month, right?
The other
Um,
thing that came up for me that was a big surprise was I didn't calculate for in Florida. I don't know if this is in every state, but in Florida, you get a benefit for how long you've owned your property for. So the property taxes are a lot lower. So even though the appraised value is the same, what they're paying is lower. So after I had bought my properties and then my property taxes kicked in, they were like at least double because I had bought from homeowners who'd owned for like 20 years.
I do want to let everyone know that Lauren does have her channel up. Not streaming today, but she does have her YouTube channel set up. So it's in the chat, but I'll put it back in there. So those of you can jump over there or after, please subscribe and we'll get her live streaming on there maybe after or when the new year starts. And I'll put Joel's channel also. But someone does Trade Better does say plumbing is the killer. So for you guys, what's been your guys' experience as far as maybe the kind of costly expense that seems to pop up every so often? Would it be plumbing?
100%. It's always plumbing.
Same as you, Joel?
I haven't had a whole lot of plumbing issues. My pipes are typically cleaned.
We're starting early with the nonsense.
He couldn't help himself. You asked him.
When in doubt, you got to clean your pipes. No big deal.
Would that be because were you purchasing newer properties possibly, or
maybe they were long-term rentals, so wasn't as heavy on the.
Yeah, I mean, sewer stuff seems to be something that's come up more, especially on purchases, having sewer lines that need to be cleared or replaced and, fixed. That's become something that I've had to deal with on a couple purchases. And, thankfully through the inspection process, you get that identified and you get the seller to cover it. And then on the sales side, that's happened to me too, on a sale, having to take care of that kind of stuff. But plumbing, that's not just me. Luckily, I've got old stuff, newer stuff, short-term rental, long-term rental. I mean, I've had various things, and that's not really one thing I've had to really deal with a lot.
Curtis does say that's why I'm having a W-2 job while investing. It's helpful. Don't need the cash flow at the beginning. So Joel, you being a lender, and you do DSCR, right? So a lot of times it's the rental income, minus the principal income, interest, taxes, insurance. Do you explain to the clients a lot of times like, well, this is the cash flow on paper, but kind of, just keep in mind that there's other things that, especially for the newer people that reach out to you?
Yeah, I mean, some of the early on just rule of thumb. First off, I hate rule of thumb, but from a rule of thumb standpoint, I would always take the gross revenue, either per month or per year, whatever number you want to use, and multiply it by 60%. So 40% for expenses, and that would be including taxes and insurance. And if that covered your principal and interest payment, it's like, okay, that may be a solid deal. And that's again a rule of thumb, but that was just my easy math. I'm trying to figure out if the deal might work. And so we talk a lot about that kind of stuff. But at the end of the day, people are going to do what they're going to do, no matter what you say or because my job is to outline ideas and options. I can't tell somebody what to do. So
absolutely. I think even, a lot of times people don't quite understand, like they may qualify for a property, right, from a purchase, but a lot of times they're not really sure that they can actually afford it. So you may qualify for $1 million home, but that doesn't actually mean you can afford $1 million home, right? So a lot of people don't realize like the upkeep, the maintenance, and all these extra expenses that do come up to owning a property. Hyder's talking about property taxes are not constitutional as far as I can see. Yep, I think a lot of people would feel the same way.
I thought Hyder doesn't pay his property taxes. He's said that before.
Yeah, I forgot what his he talked about it before. But Troy Roberts, who I know is he's in Curtis mentioned his area in Washington it's bad, the weather, and I know Troy is taking some beatings up in that area also. So he's hopefully everything's okay, Troy. But Troy is saying, I think in the beginning, it's hard to know how conservative to be with when factoring monthly expenses. Yeah, so now that's on to the flip side of what Frank's video is talking about, how cash flow may have lied to him. do you see some people this is preventing them from getting started? Now they're being too conservative, right, with their numbers, right? Like how Troy's saying, it's really hard in the beginning to really kind of try to factor in what your monthly expenses it will be, right? So do you guys think sometimes it holds people back from getting started?
For sure. I mean, I feel like there's some people that are just afraid to start, and then they have that like analysis paralysis where they're just like, oh, I think this is right, but I don't know. Um, and that uncertainty is too much, and they never really take action. But yeah, I would say I feel like more people do get started than like, or people will jump in not knowing more than I feel like don't get. I don't know if like the expense cost is what stops people most of the time. Like I feel like there's like 10 steps prior to that, because if you're getting to that, you're already like under contract. I feel like a lot of people don't even get to the point where they're putting anything under contract.
Yeah, great point. I think the one way I try to explain to people who sometimes see these costly expenses is if you were to own a home and you had this expense, right, it's still part of just home ownership. So it's not as if rental expenses are different than you owning a primary residence, right? So you still got to look at it that way, that it's part of the journey. So owning a
Mhm.
home, there is going to be expenses. So I think don't focus on that because you're investing, that you haven't, it's not like these are special expenses that only pop up for investors, right? So even as a homeowner, these are going to be expenses that typically you're going to have to address. So like Jeff from York, Pennsylvania says, had to replace two water mains at 6 to 7K 2 years ago. Uh,
Mhm.
but
I've had to do
now
that
you have
too.
new water mains, right? So that's one way to look at it. Yasik is saying buying versus affording are different, kind of like what I mentioned. And
Mhm.
I do get frustrated at times when people just say, hey, you qualify for this, but yet are you really explaining to them the overall cost of home ownership? Hey, Ali, who's invests in Detroit, and I think he has stuff in Florida also, but he says, what's the typical closing cost on a DSCR cash out refi loan value around 165K? You have any?
Yeah, this is big disclaimer. This is off the side of my hip, about $4,000. Every state's going to be different because a lot of places are going to have transfer taxes, like in Maryland and Virginia and Florida, and a few others. Michigan, I don't think there's transfer taxes that would apply on the recording of a deed. So if you have, I don't know, $1,500 to $2,000 of title fees and recording, plus a lender fee, plus an appraisal, and then depending on how you structure your financing with points or no points, I mean, $4,000 is just a ballpark on just your basic fees. So states like Missouri, California, Colorado are just some examples.
Do your DSCRs that you do have a minimum? Because I think I remember I have two DSCR loans, and I think I remember my lender telling me that there was a minimum on those loans.
Yeah.
Um,
There's investors that have minimums at 150, down to
oh,
125, down to 100, and then there's a couple that will go down to 75K, and then even a few less that will go down to 50K.
wow. Okay, because he was saying like it was like I think like 250 was the minimum that they would do.
Okay, so yeah, I mean, those are going to be more like your institutional, like kind of a more commercial lenders. Whereas,
Mm,
like, I work for New American Funding, so we're a mortgage company, so we have different investors that we can correspond and lend to. We can just pick and choose which investor we want to do. So, like, the one that we have internally that we can use goes down to 75K, and I have a contact that will be able to go down to 50K. And like I got a fee sheet from the person, and it was like $7,000 of lender fees, like underwriting fee, processing fee, originate. I was just not even, it didn't even include points, just $7,000 of fees on like a $60,000 loan. It's like, well, that's like 4 points of fees. Like that's
Do
outrageous.
do people ever negotiate with you on fees?
I mean, not on me, because like I have like when we were doing that rate comparison with
Mhm.
Monica, It's like
Mhm.
I don't control this. Like, this is what it is through my company. So the fees, our lender fee is $1,500. Appraisal fee is what it is. It's a third party. The rate is the
Mhm.
rate. I have no control over the rate. I can give you the best rate I got. It's what I got.
Yeah.
So
You're still salty about that, aren't you?
not at all.
no.
Not at
So
all.
well
Look salty?
before we move
You
on,
invited her on.
well, before we move on,
Well, she's
let
good
Joe
people, even
also
though she kicked my
clarify.
ass.
But Joe, did you not get messages after from
Yeah,
people?
I did.
Right.
I
So
did.
so
Okay.
maybe fill people in before we move on to some of the other comments in the chat. Like, what kind of messages were you getting after that?
This is a couple that I can't repeat.
Well, yeah, I'm not saying
Oh,
those, but I'm saying
hating-
the ones you
hating
shared with
messages?
me, right?
No, it's people like just, hey, I like the way that you were calm and collected on this, and blah 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 blah, and a few other things. But no, like the one thing about the broker versus lender or bank model is that a broker, it's a third party, right? So like they're gonna ship that package out, and
Yeah.
like I can't like I'm known in my circles of agents in the DC market to Florida to Texas and Midwest and West Coast. Like, I get the hard deals done, and like to be able to have a conversation with underwriting about something, and there's a lot of subjectivity and gray area that goes into underwriting a deal and
Yeah.
conditions and guidelines. So there's a lot of back and forth. I have a deal right now that's going on that's 2 transactions for one borrower, and it's a builder deal that the builder couldn't close, and I'm close to getting it done. It's like we had to get some really, really kind of gray area stuff mapped out. Like, oh, well, we can document that. Okay, let's do it. And so it's not just cut and dry. And then also like be able to do stuff in all the different states. And then also capacity. Like, I've got a team behind me that's ordering condo docs and HOA stuff. And I don't know, there's just a lot that goes into it.
Yeah.
So like I said, before we move on, Ali, who's in school, like he said, he's in Detroit or invests in Detroit, but he followed you on IG. I just put but I'm telling him you're also in school, so maybe you guys can connect through school. But he is asking you, Joe, can you do loans in Michigan?
Yeah.
All right. So
Especially
Ali,
the UP.
all right. Yeah. Jim says, my title fits me. I bring chaos everywhere. But let's see. I skipped over a few. Hey, I see Coach Nick here. My Saturday Bitcoin weekly wrap up. So that's been going pretty well.
Nice.
Flavio is saying to start investing today, not yesterday or tomorrow. Yeah.
Yep. Time is your friend.
Let's see. There was a question. Oh, Hyder saying he thinks velocity is DSCR loan minimum is at 70K. Okay, Troy's good thing. Good to hear. Troy said they're surviving, but the rain is flooding. Oh, Frank makes a good point. So, like I said, we are touching kind of on one of Frank's more recent videos about how cash flow lied to him. But Frank is saying, I think the investment property horror stories still carry more weight out in the public. Otherwise, we would have many more investors.
Yeah.
I think that's very true. Lauren, do you have a lot of people in your circle investing, or do they kind of look at you like crazy for what you're doing?
They kind of, mostly, they're just, I think they more look at me like, gosh, I wish I could do that. A lot of people are like, yeah, I just don't have. And I'm like, well, you could. You have a good paying job, but your lifestyle is creeped up with your work. I'm like, you could sacrifice for 2 years and get started. Just so you guys know, I have to go pick up my friend at the airport.
Yeah, no
like
worries.
another-
Well, what time do you got to go? Because if not, we'll dig into
I
all the
still have
ruckus
another-
you guys caused last week.
Yeah,
before.
let's dig into. I'm not leaving before we get into that.
Oh, okay. Hold on, but I did put.
But we have to
into?
dive in.
That's the trouble. All the ruckus you guys caused last week with your Lauren and Monica's speed dating idea for Vegas.
Oh, that okay. I mean, when you cause so much trouble, you gotta specify what you're talking about.
Yeah.
But there is Frank's channel, so if you want to go check out the video that he talks about cash flow lied to him. So there's his channel. Go subscribe there and follow him. Yeah, Jovi, big game. Packers are not winning this weekend. Sorry, buddy.
Can I give a shout out real quick?
Go right ahead, man.
So this goes back to October. I was in Orlando for a conference, and I rented a podcast studio in Orlando. Did a couple of interviews to one of the schoolmates, Renee, down in Florida, and big shout out to Mark for reintroducing me to Renee. And so the first podcast episode with Fabian, the first 10-minute clip came out on my channel, and then Renee's is going to come out on Thursday tomorrow. So it's a full hour, but these are going to be released in 10-minute clips, and then we're going to have reels coming out. So the reason I want to bring it up is that I live in St. Louis. I'm doing business all over the country, and I've done events all over the country in my career, and I'm going to be doing more of these travel to a location, do a couple interviews with local investors in a podcast studio. And so the people that are out there listening, like I know there's people that are investing in Gary, Indiana. So when that crew goes out to Gary, Indiana, that may be an opportunity to go. I live in St. Louis, drive up to Gary, Indiana, and then do some content. Tennessee is close, Arkansas is close, Kansas City's close. I'm sure where everybody is. I know people are on the West Coast as well, but that will be a point in time where I get out there and do some content. So if you guys have any thoughts about that, feel free to reach out to me.
I don't know, but we're attracting a bunch of losers in the chat today. I see Cody and Joe V cheering on the Packers, so we got to put a stop to that.
Any
Hey,
Chiefs fans out there?
Troy is a Chiefs fan.
Yeah.
Hey, Josh Martin is here. Morning. I think that, yeah. So if you guys want to dig in real quick, I guess. So those of you that are just tuning in, or maybe you missed last week, Lauren and Monica brought up. I don't know if they were joking or thought it was really a great idea, but because the one rental at a time event falls on Valentine's Day next year in February, they were really thinking about a speed dating type of investor fund. I don't know. So and then there was a lot of comments on social media after I posted that clip.
Yeah, I mean, started off as a joke. Obviously, the people want it though. Like, I think it's a good idea. Joel went and got a haircut.
Joel cut his hair just for that to get ready for Vegas.
That's right.
But yeah, I don't know. Joel, what do you think? We should plan something like that. Hey, Elisa's here on Instagram.
I do think it's something that would be kind of cool. Like, I mean, I don't know how many women are going to be there. So, I mean, there may be a little bit of a lopsided type of a environment, but
that is true.
It's never a bad thing when the women have lots of options.
Oh, is that right?
Yeah.
Right. Well, I think that if Zuber was in on it and okay with it, I think we'd be able to do some fun stuff with it. I'm a good event planner.
I don't know.
I can plan an event.
Okay. Well, just tell me. I can plan an event too. I'll find a lot of. Actually, if we could get Zuber's guest list, I don't know if that's like if that's like private information or like who's coming or whatever, but then we could reach out to people and like just be like, hey, are you single? If you are, come to our speed dating event.
Yeah, we can play around with this idea, I guess, and see how far it goes. But I think there was people interested in putting this together and seeing what comes of it. But Nick is saying, Joel, help my channel go live with Mark. So he said, thanks for the help. So definitely Joel helped Nick get that thing going.
Nice.
Looks like Joe V might be able to meet up with Hyder in Gary, Indiana in January. And Ali's asking you, Joe, come to Michigan.
Yeah.
I will introduce you to all my investor friends.
I know Michigan well. That was my first territory in 2006 to 2008 when I was at Citibank. So, like, I said the UP earlier, like Traverse City, Kalamazoo. Anyway,
Elisa Fit, who has joined us a few weeks ago, said she loves your idea, Lauren. She says to do it, the speed dating.
I love it. I love how all the women that are like really on board with it, none of them are single. Like,
I know, right?
Like, we're all championing this, but like none of us are attending.
See, Josh Martin says it's a great idea, Lauren. And
yeah,
like I said, there was a lot of comments on Instagram. So if you want to go check out that reel on my page, but the funniest one was from Doom, what's her name again? I forgot.
Was
No,
she
no, no. She
the
was on the
typo?
channel. She was on the channel recently. Oh man, I feel bad. They're the 9 to 5 investors though. They do sober home
What
living.
did she say?
She's the one that said it should be named. I may not be your soulmate, but I'm pre-approved. That should be the name of the
I
speed
love
dating
it. That's
event.
our tagline.
Nick says, always bad when women have too many options. They can't even decide what to order on the menu at a restaurant and will end up wanting our plate. Oh, Nick, you're starting trouble here, man.
Uh-oh. Well, Nick's not.
Hyder says, two hotties want to speed date lonely investors. No doubt that got traction. I don't know, Joel. It sounds like we might have to figure this out, man, for Vegas. It might.
I mean, all it takes is one. We just need one single woman. We just got to start with one.
It's the Bachelorette. It's just one woman and 25
No,
men.
I'm just saying, like, we got to find a couple single women to be on board, and then it just takes a couple, and then you get 4, and then you get 8, and then next thing you know, you might have 104.
Yeah.
And that would be sad.
I will find the single ladies.
All right, chat.
You
all
have
the
to
single
have
ladies.
some friends that invest, no? In your circle?
Female friends?
Yeah. Well,
no, I don't know that I have any female friends that invest in real estate that are single also.
Well, I mean, I think we talked about that the last time, that they don't have to be real estate investors. They just have to be thirsty.
Yeah. That sounds so wrong. And yeah, I don't think that the women have to be real estate investors. I think it's more about finding, I feel like it's harder to find quality men than it is like quality women, as far as like, I don't know, we're being stereotypical right now, but I think.
Well, I mean, I think this is a great place to maybe lean in a little bit harder. When you say quality men, for all the men out there, what does that actually mean?
I mean, we can't speak to people's character because obviously we won't know everybody at the event, but at very least they're coming to events like this around like-minded people, and to me, that means you're like trying to do better, build your life, grow, having that growth mindset. I feel like that's like a high quality person, somebody who's like thinking about their future, and they want to,
Okay.
So, and then the women just have to be cute.
I don't know. Flavio, I have no idea what Flavio messaged me. He says, bring the heart reel on the live.
The what?
Sure I don't know. I'm not sure what he means by that. Bring the heart reel on the live. I don't know.
Are we gonna charge fees for this? Are we gonna charge money for this?
Oh, we're not charging money.
We're
not charging money for this.
A high value operation. And we could be
year one is free. People get in year one. If this grows year 2, year 3, they're probably gonna have to pay.
Yeah, it says a breakout session maybe. Harrison is saying this speed dating sounds like the opening for the next Taken movie. Are you single and alone? Like I said, here is Lauren's YouTube channel. We finally got her to get it up and running, so we'll get her live streaming on there soon. But if you can, go subscribe over there. Let's see. Hyder says pre-approved is a funny term. It just means before approval, not approved already. That's why the application still needs to be filed.
Well, I think that perfectly describes, like, these men are pre-approved. We haven't gone through the process of vetting them. We don't know.
Hey, Brady Morgan is tuning in. Yes, my Wednesday lives are a little. We were talking about how cash flow kind of lies to you in the beginning of the real estate journey, but we're also picking up on last week. We kind of got off topic on a speed dating idea for the Vegas event, and it got a lot of traction. So we're wondering if it's something that we should really actually look into putting together, especially since the event falls on Valentine's Day, one of the days. Hyder says that's how some women invest. Find a successful investing man and cling on.
Well, studies show, just saying, that men's lives get better when they have a female in their life. Like they live longer, they have more financial success. Like, just saying, women live shorter.
A good female, the right female.
Yeah, yeah.
Harrison says 6 foot, 6 figure, 6-pack. Is that right, Lauren?
More like 6 units.
Let's see. Yeah, Brady said he didn't know what he walked into. Yeah, no, Wednesday is always kind of a fun one.
Yeah.
If you haven't been on, Lauren is in Idaho. Oh yeah, no, is he? I forget. No, Brady's in Wyoming. Yeah, because he know Emily. That's Emily was on the other week. Joel's a lender. If you want to reach out to him, Brady, but I'm sure sounds like you probably have your own lender you work with. Let's see.
All right, guys, I'm gonna run.
All right.
Joel, are you gonna be on next Wednesday?
Yeah.
Yeah, so next Wednesday is Christmas Eve. I already have, if those of you tuned in a couple weeks ago, Hold It with PM Jen is going to join us. A lot of people loved her energy and just her straightforward, no nonsense.
Is she single?
I have no idea. I don't ask anybody. I don't. But
you
people,
can ask her next week, Joel.
Yeah.
I mean, she can maybe have some ideas for our event.
He's on the Wyoming border, Brady, Morgan, Lauren.
To Idaho?
Yeah. He's on the Idaho-Wyoming border, and he has a YouTube channel. He's writing a book
cool.
about an investing strategy he says that nobody has written about yet, or something like something along those lines. I believe I think he's talking early next year. It might be coming out, but he does have a YouTube channel.
Nice.
Monica, I don't know. She has the link, and I'm not sure if she's going to be able to make it. I know she had to drop off her kids, I believe, but I'm not sure. But yeah, Lord, so I did not. Is that on your channel or mine? Oh, there.
No, it's on yours. It's on yours.
Whose comment?
Flavio says, "This is the only day and hour that I sit to enjoy the live and coffee." Yeah. No, this is like I said, hopefully people still get good information. Like I said, Frank came out with a great video, and I think a lot of people definitely in the beginning, they kind of get caught up in a certain cash flow calculation, and it kind of lies to them or lies to you a little bit. But we also have a lot of fun on the Wednesday one.
I think that type of concept applies to dating though, right? Like, you think you're going to have, the right cash flow, and then just expenses pop up out of nowhere. Like, well, I might have to get rid of this little single family property and move on to something bigger and better.
Yeah, and as you get better, you learn how to identify things. That's why dating is important. You learn how to identify. You're like, oh, that's a red flag. I don't think that I want to go down that road. And that's how it is with properties.
Right. Lauren, before you leave, then I will see you next week. But Trade Better is asking, Lauren, do you have a name for your hotel yet?
So there is a potential name. We're still taking options, but so it kind of has to go with the history of the area here. So Hemingway lived here and is like very big in this area, and he used to go to this bar that's next door to the motel, and it was called the Snug. So we were thinking of calling it the Snug.
Snug. Okay.
We'll see. We don't know. That's one thing that somebody's thrown up. What
happened to the butterfly theme or whatever? Wasn't that
no? Was vetoed.
Oh yeah, Casa Mariposa by Lauren.
Yeah, we're just gonna call it Lauren Motel.
If you call it the Snug, I feel like you could sell some merch, like some cozy fleece blankets.
Yeah.
Like, ones that are branded with Lauren's face on it. And
just a pillow that's like this, and you can lay your head right next to mine.
Yeah.
I feel like it's a good name that could be branded.
Yeah. Well,
Just
keep
snuck
us
in.
informed. Like I said, we'll try to get your YouTube channel link next time, but I'll put it in the chat one more time. But everyone, if you can go subscribe there so we can get Lauren's channel. What, maybe 50? We can get to 50 by the event or after the event, I'm sure.
We're gonna have to hustle on that. We need everybody on this chat to go follow.
Yeah, if
There's
you want
20
speed dating, I'm not doing it unless I have 50 subscribers.
All right, you guys heard that? All right, Lauren, thanks for doing this, and then yeah, we'll see you next Wednesday.
Yeah. All right. See you
All right.
guys. Bye.
Joe, looks like we confused the shit out of Bill. Bill said he's so lost. He was originally talking about matching up a loan lender with an investor.
Nope.
Yeah, Bill, if you don't
Nope.
pay attention, yeah, this one goes kind of all over the place. But to that point too, it is, I think Lauren touched on it a little bit, and I think I've talked about it before with investing or even looking for properties, is I kind of do look at it as dating, in a sense where you're not gonna know what properties may fit your portfolio, things like that, if you're just always waiting for that marriage one, in a sense, right? Where you're never going to know what is the maybe good properties or bad properties, or what are things you got to look out for. So in some ways, you do kind of have to date a little bit, I guess, and see what is the best strategy for yourself, right?
Yeah, and that makes me think of just the longer you go on your journey and the more you get specific about the things that you want and properties and things that are working, like talking about the expenses. I mean, if you keep buying the same type of asset class in the same area in the same zip code or the same radius, like you're gonna have a pretty good idea of what to expect for expenses. And I've mentioned this on your channel before, but I've got a good friend of mine who's a fix and flipper, and as he's evolved in his journey, he's gotten so specific on exactly what he wants. This many beds, this many baths, square footage, the age, the radius, and people come to him when this property pops up. They come to him for this deal, and he gets it. He buys it. He's got all of his things laid out in terms of the finishes, and it's like clockwork. And I think, like to you, Mark, um, you built this portfolio over time, but they're all in the same area, right? Like, is it all pretty much the same kind of a thing?
Yeah, I
Single
guess.
families and certain
Some
radius.
small multis now, but like duplexes. But
So you got a pretty good handle on what to expect for expenses.
not really. I mean, for the most part, it's just I guess if you count that I understand that the homes are older in Pittsburgh, right? So
Mhm.
for me, that's the thing, right? I expenses are expenses to me. It's because just because I know the homes are older, so it is things that you're going to have to address. So other markets you might be dealing with different conditions that you just have to know about that market, right? So everyone that kind of reaches out and does have some interest in maybe investing in Pittsburgh, it's kind of, I tell them, I said that the probably the biggest struggle for most people is the age of the homes a lot of times. And like I know Dion, he has like his own buy box, and he talks about he only wants homes built after, shoot, I think he says 1970 something, I believe, and nothing past 2000, so nothing too new. But it's like, shit, if I found something 1970 in Pittsburgh, that's like a brand new home in a sense for Pittsburgh, right? So
Right.
it's just knowing your market, right? And for me, like you're talking about expenses, but for me, it's just I expect expenses because the homes are older in the beginning. And like I think Cody Evers mentioned, who he just closed on a sixplex, I believe, recently or yesterday. But he mentioned that, yeah, the first 5 years is really not a consistent cash flow, in a sense. There's always something, and it's kind of after those 5 years where you've probably replaced a furnace, where you've probably replaced a roof on the, so you've got a lot of these expenses that are taken care of. And just like anything right now, you're not going to need to replace it, hopefully, for the next number of years, right?
Mm-hmm.
Uh, well, sorry, Josh. Lauren's not here. She can answer this maybe next time. It says, "Cute isn't good enough. I need morals. A partner who knows a relationship takes work and communication." Yeah. Grumpy Contractor says, "Sounds like Joel really needs a date."
I'm
Um,
good. I'm good.
and Jeff, I think he's saying Hold It with PM Jen is not single. I think that's what he's referring to. He says she is not. Hyder is saying we've owned the Fiveplex in Gary almost 2 years now, and it's just self-sustaining. Haven't seen a dollar of profit yet. And that's right, yet. Yep. That's
but you've paid down principal on that loan with rents, and maybe values have gone up. I don't know, but yeah.
Jeff, so Jen will be back next week, Wednesday, on Christmas Eve with me, Joel, and Lauren.
Too many spinning plates.
Yeah. Too many spinning plates. Let's see what.
That's a Radiohead song, by the way. Spinning plates.
Is that who you went to see that one time? I forget. Who did you go to see in concert? And did you get in trouble? No, your wife or your ex-wife.
That was Switchfoot. That was Switchfoot in 2023.
Oh, that's right. That's right.
Yeah, yeah.
There was a question I want to get to. Where did it go? Oh, here it is. Nobody talks about this, but did inconsistent cash flow ever make you question if you screwed up? I think that is kind of where Frank's video may have came from that viewpoint, right? Of almost doubting yourself, right? So did you ever feel like you screwed up heading down this real estate investor journey?
Me personally?
Yeah, you personally.
Yeah. I mean, I did 2 flips in 2019 that bled into COVID, and they were just complete disasters. And I lost money on them, but I finished. I could have called quits multiple times, but these are the first flips I ever done. Like, I'm gonna get this thing done. I don't care how much money it costs. I'm gonna get it done and sold, and chalk it up as a learning experience. And you live to play another day and keep on going.
Hyder is saying we bought all cash and have been working towards a cash out refi, just burning time. And then Brady's asking the Fiveplex, is it due to high expenses or low income? And then Harrison's asking, how do you get in trouble at a Switchfoot concert?
Well, we're not married anymore, so I mean, I can go on a 20-minute rant if you want.
We'll save that for your channel.
That's right.
Oh, Jovi's calling you out. He said, did you see Joel miss the basketball shots on Facebook? And with his skills, he would lose to a professional 100% of the time.
Ooh, Joe saw my videos. Okay. I said 99.99% of the time I would lose, but there's still a 0.01 chance I could win.
Well, that's what he's saying. Based on what he saw, your skills, you would lose 100% of the time from what he saw.
I didn't say I was good, but if I go on a little heater, hit 11 in a row, you never know.
Well, I don't know what that little skip and a bounce or whatever after you did was.
So you watched the video, okay?
Yeah, I watched the video.
That's all that matters.
I want to know how you edited making baskets. I was like, oh, that's some good editing in there. Let's see.
Did you see that shot from Steph Curry from the under the archway from the other baseline, threw it up all the way down court and made it, and then he ran under the archway? I don't know if it was AI or not, but
I don't know. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, I'm not sure. Let's see. Ooh, so like you touched on your 2 flips that were struggles, made you doubt yourself or question. How hard was it mentally when cash flow disappeared for a few months?
Well, I think if you're doing it on, let's say that you're not married and you're single, right? Like, that's one lane. And then when you're doing life with somebody that doesn't really align with what you're trying to do, and that becomes like if this is bad, doing it on your own, when you're living life with somebody who doesn't just believe in you or doesn't believe in what you're trying to accomplish, and then things don't go right and you just hear the end of it, it's like 100 times worse doing it with somebody that just doesn't really align with you. So that's why I just think it's so important to be with somebody that you align with, and people change, and so that's kind of what happened with me. Like, I don't know. I think, doubting yourself and being around people that are on the same page as you, I think is so important.
Yeah, I think that's the speed bump for Joe V right now. He wants to get into investing a little bit more, but I think the wife's not on board, or it's been a push and pull, kind of getting her to slowly move in that direction, right? But I think who was Alex was on the other week. Alex Dutter with Ray, and Alex's wife is probably not on board as much as Alex is, but that's why Alex is going to do like a short-term rental, because I think that he sees that as the way the wife is going to get involved or has interest in it, right? So Ray and his wife, the wife, I don't think she likes real estate investing, but she definitely loves the Airbnb side of it. The managing and decorating and all that kind of stuff. So it worked out for him. So I think that's why Alex's wife spoke with Ray, and Carissa, I believe, is Ray's wife's name. But yeah, but anyways, I believe that's how Alex is gonna kind of. It's not that he's interested in short-term rentals, but I
Mhm.
think that's how he's gonna get the wife involved, and hopefully
Yeah.
that, yeah. Yes, my show, man, my like I said, it was just a minor procedure for my shoulder yesterday. I actually well, they numbed it, but they didn't put me to sleep. I want to watch, but man, all you hear was, "Ooh, that was a good one." Like he's just cracking my shoulder, like he's just twisting it all different ways, and all you hear is the pop, 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 and the crack. So today it's in pain from that, but um, yeah, we'll see how it goes. Yeah, there are a lot of speed bumps, Joe said. Joe V says, he says, but yes, wife is one. Yeah. The other one is Joe's not the brightest dude, so that's one speed bump. And he's a Packers fan, so that says it all right there.
Is Joe Vita? Is he a firefighter too? I forget. No.
No, he's a former Leo, but he left. Yeah, breaking scar tissue, exactly, Joe. That's why. But I was upset because they wouldn't let me drive home, because I thought they weren't very clear on it. Like when I had like the pre-call to remind me, I swear the lady was like, "Well, if they don't put you under, then you can drive home." So that's why I drove myself. I had to be there at 6 in the morning, but then the lady's like, "No, you cannot drive home," and I'm like, "Yeah, but you're not knocking me out. You're just And then she just she's like, "No, you can't drive," and all this. So I had to kiss the medical taxi home, and then I had to Uber back out to get my car later. And like, what the shit? Um, you can't pass the test, Joe. Come on. Um, let's see what else. Reserves. Has reserves ever been a problem for you? That was always my big concern or problem, is reserves really slowed me down, because like I said, Pittsburgh, like I said, you have older homes, so the expenses do pop up a lot quicker in the beginning. So the reserves really burnt through very quickly for myself. Other areas might not have that problem as much, especially if you're buying maybe a little bit newer homes. But
Yeah.
for you, was reserves a big thing for you?
I mean, yeah, my quadplexes in St. Louis City. I mean, just burning through it. I mean, at the end of the day, they were cash flow flat, I guess you'd say. But for years, I didn't have any positive cash flow for a long time. So, but that was my biggest pain is those properties.
Hyder saying, did you ask her to define driving? Um, yeah, I was like, they're like, no, we have to witness you to get into the van, right? They walk you down, and they make sure you get into the van, and I guess they make sure it's their address going to your home, because I was just gonna go like around the block and then walk back and get my car, but they're like, nope, you gotta. So they were on to me. Yeah, they were afraid I'd fall asleep at the wheel. That kind of was the reason why. Or I guess because maybe I only had use of one arm. That was I guess a liability, they said. But I was driving my dad's car, so I was like, it already has a spinner knob on it because of his stroke. He only has one arm anyways to use. So he drives with a spinner wheel. So I was like, I have a spinner wheel on my the steering wheel. So it's not like I need to. I can just use one arm to drive, but they still
Okay.
wouldn't let me drive. Yeah.
Okay. I've never
But
seen one of those before.
yeah, you'll be surprised how much things are available for, like I said, my dad's right side is pretty much paralyzed, so everything's adapted for the left side. So on the steering wheel has the spinner knob, it has the attachment bar that comes across for the windshield wipers. And then he has the pedals. The pedals, he drives with his left foot. Yeah, could you see over the steering wheel? Now, okay, so now that you've kind of gotten over some of the, your flips that didn't work out and whatnot, I mean, would you say looking back now, was the struggle worth it, or are you still kind of maybe questioning this real estate path?
Well, I think it's hard. It's hard because like if I'm talking about real estate, right? I bought my first rental property in 2013, and then in 2017, and then 2019 and 2020. Like, so my perspective is different than most people who may be just beginning in for a year or two or three or four, and it just reiterates and reinforces that it's a long journey. It's a 10-20 year journey, and like for me, the holy grail of real estate for me was being able to do a cost segregation. When I built up my portfolio, now that it made sense to do that. And if you're earning high income and you're able to offset that income substantially, like that's massive. Then you can take the savings, the tax savings, and then go buy the next building. And I think that to me was eye opening. And I think being able to do those kinds of things is what motivates me to continue to keep pushing and pushing and pushing to try to be able to do more business and grow a business to be able to build more wealth.
Wait, hold on. What is he saying? Harrison says, I love being awake during procedures. The surgeons are pretty chatty. Joe V says, surgeons love talking about themselves. But then Harrison says, same here, Tradewinder. Stuff is interesting and I don't get to experience it every day. I want to make the most of it. Oh, I think he's talking, yeah, but I think it's about being awake maybe during surgery and kind of hearing what they're talking about or discussing. But I think that's the one thing, right? Cash flow isn't smooth, but it's survivable, right? I think you figure out how to deal with it and get through it. But I think that's what prevents a lot of people from jumping in and getting started, right? It's not consistent and it's definitely not that easy, and not everyone can deal with it, right? You know, for some reason, like I said, they look at the expenses differently, right? If it was their own primary home and they had this expense, it's just like, okay, I got to pay for this, it's my, but then when it's an investment or a rental property, it almost like stresses them out. I don't know. I don't know why there's like that big difference there, how people look at the expense. But I think that's the struggle that Frank is going through, just because he's in multiple markets, right? And I think that's the challenge for him too. I think he's trying to figure out too which market might suit him best, which might give him the best results.
I think that's one of the reasons why I bring up, kind of just leaning into your situation and just in general, like being in one market for a period of time, because when you're in a market for a period of time, it's not only do you know the numbers, but you're going to be able to get more connections who maybe get you a better deal. And when you can get a really good deal on a property and have a lot of equity built in, like that's 9/10 the game is getting that really good deal. And you can't get that deal unless you're in the market for a period of time and you make connections. I mean, would you say like the deals that you got in the most recent few deals, do you think you got those deals because of connections or?
Oh yeah. It's like, I don't even look on the MLS anymore. I just wait to him hey, he goes, I got this good one. Or so I don't even, I mean, I look just to look and see what's there. And maybe, I mean, there's stuff that I see, but it's if it makes sense on the MLS, it's pretty much, you either got to be ready to make an offer at list price for the most part, if it really makes sense. So most of the stuff now is just whatever Alex and Jeremy folks, bring to me. And even like the last one, I mean, I did luck out on the small burr I just did. Like I said, the appraisal came in soft and, but I switched at the end because the DSCR guy was giving me issues about the whole entity structure stuff, and I was
Mhm.
like, "What? This is that's I was like, this is a normal thing. Like, why is it an issue?" And anyways, I was able to get another appraisal, and it actually came in 40K higher. So
Holy crap!
yeah, it
Well,
worked out.
did you see my post yesterday where I put? I think I used $25,000. I said $25,000 will buy you a $125,000 rental, or it could buy you, what did I say, a $500,000, $400,000 primary residence. And the idea of like it wouldn't work in your market, right? Because housing is so expensive in California or Hawaii. But like if you're in the Midwest and you're gonna buy the next house as a primary residence, put 5% down. I mean, 4% appreciation on 125 versus 4% appreciation on 400K. It's light years different. And that's how I scaled my portfolio, was buying the next primary residence. And again, I call it the stairstep method. But I didn't worry about cash flow because I knew I was going to be building equity through appreciation. And over 10 years, I mean, that's when, for me, it was just eye opening. And getting appraisals coming in, as you're saying, getting appraisals coming in, like, oh, this is working. But it took 5-10 years, like we always talk about.
Jeff is saying my cost seg results were so high, it should ensure zero income for 3 to 4 years. I'm not a real estate professional. Flavio said he's been negative for a few years. This year, I would like to see some cash flow refinancing for 4 properties. Yeah, I mean, Flavio is probably in a little more expensive market. I mean, we joke about Grandview, Washington, and all of this, but it's still a little higher price point than, some of the Midwest markets. But yeah, definitely, it's hard to have a negative cash flow property. I mean, it's a tough position to be in, even if you think it's going to appreciate. I think that's a
Yeah.
position. Yeah, I mean, so
Well,
hopefully, yeah, go.
I was gonna say, like, in my position, being in sales, it's like, okay, well, getting into real estate, it builds this extra set of reinforcers or accountability and purpose. Like, okay, I got to go make things happen so I can, not only make this portfolio work, but also go get the next one and the next one, next one. And I think for people that are competitive and want to, get ahead and take back more time, I mean, I'm thankful to be in a commission job. It's not right for everybody, but to be able to, pull some levers and spend more time to increase income. I mean, to me, like that's, I think, next level type of stuff. And that's why I keep harping on you for income, about your income streams.
Yeah,
You
leave me
need to sell
alone, man.
like a $5 like e-course
I'm not
to
selling no
firefighters.
e-course.
So
Hey, Hugo's here, tuning in from your channel. Says, "Good morning, winners."
what's up,
Uh,
Hugo? Hey, Hugo, what can Mark do to make some extra passive income? What should Mark do for passive income? Hugo, what you got?
are you making anything on X yet?
No, not anymore. Just Facebook.
Oh, how come?
Yeah, I only got one installment from X, and then they changed some of the parameters. I think you have to have 2,000 verified
Oh,
followers.
verified followers. Yeah. Brady Morgan is asking any info on 15-year DSCR loans, current rates, and minimum ratios.
I have no idea. I've never even had anybody ask me about a 15-year DSCR before.
You can't just bring it up real quick. There's no.
I can try to price one out. See what happens.
Joe. I mean, not Joe, but Hugo's saying his volume was down. What was that, Joel? Joe was just trying to make trouble again and trying to figure out how I can make more money. Yeah, affiliate links I gotta do better of. Yes, Monica, you can jump on for a few minutes if you want. But Lauren had to take off. She had to go pick up her friend at the airport. So I see Monica tuning in the chat. So she does have a link. So I think you should just jump on for a few minutes because a lot of people wanted to discuss the speed dating idea still yet. They thought it was a great idea to put out there. So I sent you a link, Monica. So we're waiting for you. But yeah,
Is she on,
affiliate.
is she on Instagram?
No, she's in YouTube. You don't see it in the chat.
I got too many things going there.
Joe got a fresh haircut for you, Monica. He was ready for speed dating. He said. Yeah, we got Nick. Yeah, Nick wants to walk through iBit, but we were trying to figure out how to not show his information or to some way because he doesn't want to show all his information on the share screen. So we got to figure that out. What says Lauren? What? Monica's asking. Um, wow, I get no invite. No, because you always you're like talking at work, and it's like you're muting yourself, and you're like trying to talk, like
Who are we,
you're
who are we talking about?
Hugo. Joel's face. What is she talking about?
No, look at Flavio's comment. I don't
Oh,
understand what he's saying.
where's Monica? I want it. Oh, yeah. Flavio had a great kick out of the reel. That's why that I put out. It had both of your guys, all of our faces on the front of the reel or the short. Hold on.
Hey, Mark.
What's
we
up?
might have to.
Hold on. I'm gonna take myself off screen real fast.
Oh, okay. All right, let's go. Joel going solo. Monica, you gonna come in here? Where you at? Where you at? All right, Hugo. So what I was saying is that I keep pestering Mark that he needs to start to build at least one passive income stream, just one. And in my opinion, maybe it's affiliate links. I don't know which affiliate links would be good, but he needs to do one thing. He needs to do one income stream.
Hugo's going live on TikTok in a bit, then YouTube vertical too. I've never been able to go live on TikTok. I don't know if Hugo knows this, but Restream is going to allow you to stream multiple ways pretty soon. It says by the end of December, so you can change. So one platform can be streaming this way, and one platform can be streaming vertical. Supposedly that's at the end of the month. What will your face do? I guess she's trying to say, Joel. What
I don't
would
know.
you, Amway? I'm not doing Amway.
What the hell?
Harrison is saying Amway. Yeah, me and Nick will be back on Saturday, so we're gonna do Saturday weekly Bitcoin wrap ups, and then Friday I'll be back this week with Emily Lopez. Shoot, do I have anybody else joining me Friday with Emily? I forget. Yeah, I didn't really realize. I was asking Emily the other week. I didn't really realize ordering ranch with your buffalo wings is like a no.
Ranch?
Ranch
With wings?
dressing. Yeah.
What? Why is
So
that?
so she had a clip on the other week about they showed the buffalo wings from another food truck establishment, and the reel was about this person ordering wings, and then the person said, "Oh, can I also get ranch with it?" And basically they showed them dragging out a body bag.
Okay.
So then I asked Emma, she said, "Yeah, it's this whole thing where I guess you're supposed to order it with blue cheese, like
Oh,
like
I
ranch is
prefer.
a." Yeah, so ranch is like a no, I guess, kind of thing. But oh, see, Monica's saying ranch and wings are yummy. Yes, but I guess the true Monica is blue cheese. They were saying Emily was saying. Does Nick have a how to buy Bitcoin? Mm, he may have covered it on his channel. I know, but he buys in iBit, so he doesn't buy Bitcoin and put it in a wallet or anything because he's worried about losing his code, and if something ever happened to him, like how would his family or wife get access? So he purchases through iBit, so that's what Coach Nick does. But I can ask him. But we'll be back Saturday. What time do we usually go? We go 9 a.m. Pacific time on Saturdays. Hugo is saying, I got my first newsletter sponsor. So I will have ad revenue info on Friday with 53 subscribers and you guys posted. Or maybe you can do a live stream on passive income for 2026 with 53 subscribers. What do you mean? You know what he means about that?
What's talking about? I think he's talking about people on a newsletter, like an email newsletter.
Oh,
Because he's been posting his podcast and like a newsletter from the podcast.
Bill, Hugo is saying he can help with buying Bitcoin. So let's see. Do I have Hugo's channel here? I don't know. See, Hugo always changes his stuff too. Just like you guys got like 5 different channels every time. It was Stay Winning Pod before, but here is, I believe, his current channel. So, Bill, if you are still here, here's Hugo's YouTube channel. But he says he talks about Bitcoin a lot also on his channel. Joe V is saying, my wife eats wings with ranch. I'm a blue cheese guy. Ranch is used for everything in the Midwest. Yeah.
Blue cheese.
Well, I guess Monica is not going to jump on and explain to us, or if she's going to be in Vegas to be a part of the speed dating event that we're possibly going to put together. So Hyder is saying, just know that iBit is not Bitcoin. It is a play on Bitcoin price movement, but does not provide the purchasing power that Bitcoin provides. Right. So Bill, hopefully that clears things up a little bit for you.
Yeah, that's why the whole like ETF thing regarding Bitcoin, I just don't understand it. I don't get it because the whole point of it is to be on blockchain. If you're buying it through an ETF, that means you're not buying anything on the blockchain. And I think that was the whole point of Bitcoin is buying on the blockchain.
Well, so that's if you're almost a Bitcoin maxi, right? If you're kind of buying it for those purposes, right? You're buying Bitcoin for that reason, right? But if you're someone that wants to take advantage of Bitcoin's growth, right, price, then that's why some people just buy the iBit. I buy iBit, right? Or like you're saying, ETFs, right? But there's those that, like you're saying, they want it for the blockchain purpose and that type of stuff, right? Or being, like Hugo was saying, decentralized, right?
Well, one thing I gotta say is like I have a couple of closings this week and next week, and like I dropped a lot of things to be on this live for you, Mark. Like this is so important for me to honor you and this amazing channel, who will get to 100,000 subscribers by 2040.
No.
That like last week I was sick and I came on board. This week I was busy as hell and came on board. So that's how much I respect this channel, even though you wear a Bears hat, and I'm gonna say most fans. And also, Monica has, I think, like 3 closings today. She was telling me, so that's why she couldn't come on either. But she was busy. She was too busy for you.
She said,
busy.
Yeah,
but I'm not.
Sorry,
Jim.
Said,
Jim, I'll call you when we get off here. Jim, I promise I'll call you. I promise.
Well, okay, I guess we can wrap it up because I do got to get my son ready for school. But I guess so. If Monica has 3 closing, so she's still kicking your ass then for 2025.
She's still kicking my ass. And by the way, that clip about the rates, we might have to take that down because of like audits and APR and compliance stuff.
What?
Yeah.
What do you mean?
Yeah. I'll call you afterwards. I'm being dead serious. Yeah.
What do you mean?
Because we don't have APR. We both provided rates, and there's no like compliance stuff on there. Like for us to disclose the rates, we have to like include APR and like other things.
Oh boy!
Or else I might go to jail.
Always getting me.
I might go to jail.
No, it's just all fictional, right?
I mean, the APR is worthless. I mean,
she says you're a butt kisser. Monica says you're a butt kisser.
What does that mean?
Mark is going to have his own. I'm not going to have an event in Hawaii. I can run that post about rates through my legal team and see what's up. All right. Well, this was, like I said, this was a fun one. We will get Monica back on the same time as Lauren, so the 2 masterminds can talk more about the speed dating. And and we'll, like I said, I'll be back. It's true. So now you see, she's the one that told me to post it. She said, Joe's a big boy. He can handle it.
No, she's saying it's true that it's a compliance problem.
Yeah, well, that's why. But she said post it because Joe's a big boy. He can handle that. Her rate was better.
Yep. Wait till she's got 20 people coming down her door. She can be able to handle it.
All right. Well, anyways, this was a fun one. Everyone, thanks for tuning in. Like I said, Wednesday's kind of a very light one, but like I said, go check out Frank's video. I'll put his channel one more time in the chat, but it's a great video, especially for new investors or people maybe feeling they're not making progress, right? Definitely cash flow is not consistent in the beginning of your journey. But if you look at it from a lot of people that are doing it, you're realizing you are making progress, and just hang in there, and time in the market, you'll be fine for the most part, right? um I don't want to read Monica. I don't. Joe is a big boy. But all right, everyone, thanks for tuning in. I will be back Friday same time with Emily Lopez, and I'll be back Saturday at 9 a.m. Pacific for weekly wrap up in Bitcoin. But everyone, have a great rest of the day. Thanks, man.